No wrong choice. Anyway, uh, I'd like to discuss power and what you think power is and the lack of power in your life and how much you desire power in your life. You know, if you don't have power, most people in American society or even the world long for power. They want to go to school so they can get a good job and become a boss and become a CEO or change people's lives. You know, that's wrong. You want to better yourself. You know, the self-taught man runs the world. Because if you aren't teaching yourself today about any topic, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's how to peel an onion. If you aren't teaching yourself something today, then you're not a self-taught man or person, and you never will be. I think that's the misnomer, because a self-taught man always teaches himself. He doesn't go to class. He doesn't take classes just to get a degree. He doesn't care about a degree. He'll take a psychology class, and he'll take a knitting class or a ceramics class, which has nothing to do with each other. But he's learning on both planes, and it's not leading to a degree, and that's a self-taught man. Uh, sure, they can focus on like computer programming or coding, but those people don't just do coding. They teach themselves about other aspects. Because if you don't know anything, what are you going to code? If you don't know how a business runs, how can you code for a website to run a business if you don't know how a business runs? So they're well-rounded. They think about everything, and in order to be successful, you have to be well-rounded. You know, most of your successful people, it's like Martha Stewart. She doesn't know one thing. She knows a lot of things about, you know, and but the powerful people, like a Martha Stewart, she suffered because she's ruthless. She did that insider trading thing, and she got caught for it, and she went to jail for it. You know, to me, that's not a good, powerful person. That's a very selfish, powerful person. And because she didn't lose everything, and she technically didn't hurt anybody, But I think it's just a sign that if she was willing to do that for $60,000, what else has she done that she didn't get caught for? Because I'm sure she's done some pretty horrible things that just didn't hit the newspaper. And people like that don't change, and they follow patterns. She's ruthless about that. She's ruthless about everything. you know, so and you can't expect people like to go on her show or wherever she probably has a podcast now or something. Who knows? But they're not going to go out there and say, "Oh, Martha, you're a rotten person." They're not going to do that. That's why it's not in the paper. Um, so uh, the 60,000 thing was a unique thing. The SEC got involved. It's hard to hide, and she got caught, and she paid the price for committing the crime. But life is not fair, and the ruthless among us are the ones who rise up to power. Like Harvey Weinstein was ruthless. He created very great movies, but look what he did behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, he was forcing women to be with him to get the role, you know. And now he's paying the price. And that's the thing with these ruthless people like Martha, like Harvey, like Trump. They do ruthless things to get to point B, but they end up at point C, which is down the hill, power gone or disrespected. Uh, and the genie's out of the bottle, the mask is off, and people know who he is or who she is. And, you know, uh, it's just a fact of life that these people go up the hill. Like Elon Musk, he was ruthless. He fired all those people, and he almost lost Tesla because of it, which he deserved to lose. And and if he lost Tesla, he would have lost SpaceX. He would have lost everything because it was all bankrolled on Tesla. So that's why he left the government, and that's why you don't see him with Trump anymore, because he almost lost everything because of Trump. You know, and you don't hear the relationship anymore, do you? No. So, and that's why Trump plays to the rich people, because he gives the rich tax breaks. He starts a war so his rich buddies can make weapons and sell weapons and make money and make billions. You know, they asked for 1.5 trillion for the military budget for Iran. You know, so it's a lot of money. You know, and it's all going to his buddies. And he does that because those are the buddies that can put him out of business. Those are the buddies that can have him arrested tomorrow if they wanted to. And he has to do things to make them not want to do that. Now, he doesn't care about you, and he doesn't care about me, because I can't have him arrested tomorrow, neither can you. So he doesn't care about you. You don't even hit the radar. But, you know, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, they hit the radar. And, or Zuckerberg, whatever. But, you know, it's just the way life is. And people play to where they need to play to get the score. And he's playing the rich to get the presidency, to keep the presidency. And he's also lining his own pockets. I mean, I don't know how many billions he made just being president, and with his cryptocurrency and selling pardons and doing what he's doing to make money. And, you know, it is what it is. But you don't have to be that way. I'm very powerful. I'm very powerful, not in my bank account, not in my job title, but I'm very powerful. When I walk into a room, people know it. You know, I changed the world. And people don't know that, but I did. And more ways than one, I've changed the world. You know, but even if you go to my post on here, you'll find a binary code. I changed the binary code, and that's going to change the entire world. That's going to change everything electronic in your life, your watch, your car, your tablets, your computers, your TV, your radio. Everything is going to change. Medical devices, they're going to bring things, flying cars. Everything's going to happen because of that change in binary code to the God code. Now, will I get credit for that? Most likely not. They're going to steal it from me. And they're going to say, I stole it from them. That's what they're going to do. They're going to say, I stole it from them when I didn't. And you know that. But I have the copyright. I copyrighted it, but they don't know that. But they'll steal it. You know, I already sent it to China. Let them do it. You know, it's the God code. It's not the United States code. It's the God code. Everybody gets it. And if you saw it, if you go look at it, you'll see why. It's not really something I can, I guess, in a way, copyright. It's copywritten, but, you know, it's hard. And the world needs it, you know. So, but I'm not concerned about that. The worst thing that can happen to me is I can get a lot of money. That's the worst thing that can happen to me is to get money. I don't need money. Money hurts me. Money ruins my life. It doesn't make it better. And, you know, I live in a house. I have an e-bike. I eat as much as I want. I don't know. I go to the mall and hang out and buy food, and I really don't buy anything from the mall except food. And I go sitting on my iPad and I hang out, watch TV on my iPad. I have all the apps on my iPad. I have a cellular link on my iPad so I can go anywhere. And that's how I live my life. And no one can tell me how to live my life because I have no bosses. Nobody's my boss. Nobody's my boss. Nobody has rights over my life. You know, I follow the rules, the laws as much as I can. I break them too, and if you watch my videos, you've seen me break them. And but I break them in a way they can't come after me. They can't do anything. You know, that's power. So don't be ruthless. Don't hurt people. That's not power. That's ignorance. That's selfishness. Don't be selfish. Be generous. But don't be stupid.